And more breaking news coming in. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi has hit back at Prime Minister Modi's Chingari comment. And she said, and I'm quoting from that statement of hers, if they have nothing to say, they will keep talking about these things. They speak to divert attention and avoid discussing the real issues. Unquote. Now remember, Prime Minister Modi had said that you must have noticed, and I'm quoting from the PM statement, that you must have noticed since 2014, this is the first parliament session which saw no Videshi Chingari or foreign interference in our affairs, in which there will be no forces, foreign forces trying to ignite a fire. And he also went on to say that he has noticed this before every budget session, and many in our country leave no stone unturned to fan these very sparks. To which there has been a comment now of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's, where she is claiming that all this is diversionary tactic by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's listen into that conversation, that comment of Priyanka Gandhi's first.
कोई चिंगारी नहीं होगी। हाँ देख रहा हूँ। थैंक यू मैम। जी। ये सब कहेंगे। हमेशा यही करते हैं।
So this is what are the views of the Congress members, especially this is something that Priyanka Gandhi had said right after the inaugural speech of Prime Ministers ahead of the first day of the budget session today, early morning, where he had mentioned that this is the first budget session where there has been no foreign interference or no fire that's been ignited or no, because of some foreign rumors sparking some sort of a controversy. And this is the first time in a decade that it's happening, from 2014 to 2025 now. And this is what the Prime Minister's comments were. This was a sly dig at the opposition in the country, where he chose to attack the opposition directly. We have to really understand what was his exact line of attack, because here he's also claiming that within his own regime between 2014 to 2025 there have been ample amount of foreign interference, and that exactly is the point that the opposition is also choosing to now take up by claiming that how did Prime Minister Narendra Modi allow any sort of foreign interference under his watch. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra of the Congress party is claiming that these are diversionary tactics and statements that have been made to divert attention from the real issues. Let me take this across to my colleague Arunima, who's with us on the broadcast. Arunima, counter coming in from Priyanka Gandhi.
Yes, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has, spoken, and she has, after what was...
Yes, Arunima, go ahead. All right, there is a problem with Arunima's link. We'll try and re-establish that connection with Arunima. But let me also bring in our colleague Pallavi Ghosh, who is with us also on the broadcast. Pallavi, a statement by Priyanka Gandhi where she again is, and this is the usual line of the opposition leaders, where they claim that this is a diversionary tactic when it is about this line of attack of the Bharatiya Janata Parties in turn.
Absolutely, and the Prime Minister did not even mince his words, because, the Hindenburg report, as we know, has been derailing the process of Parliament time and again. And in fact, Rahul Gandhi, the Trinamool Congress's Mahua Moitro, all of them have been making a big issue about the fact that there's much the government needs to answer for, how the Prime Minister himself are shielding his corporate friends. And they've always accused his government of not caring for the middle class or the poor people, but only caring for a few of their corporates and their friends. And they have been accused of crony capitalism. And much of these accusations which came in from the opposition on whether it was on the Adani group or whether it was on the SEBI chairperson was based and derived by the Hindenburg report. Once the Hindenburg is wrapped up, it gives a huge advantage to the government, and the Prime Minister did take advantage of that, and he made the point that I sniff a conspiracy and is bar unke paas bahar se kuch bhi nahi hai aane ko. But having said that, as far as the opposition parties go, they are not convinced. We heard that soundbite which has come in from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who of course has dismissed the statement of the PM as yet another diversionary tactic where the government once again wants to run away from core issues.
But Pallavi, I will come to you in just a bit. Let me also bring in Arunima on this. We have established that connection back with Arunima. Arunima, taking a cue from the point that Pallavi is making, can this also in exclusivity be seen as an emboldening of stance of the Prime Ministers after Hindenburg has shut shop? Because opposition can very clearly also go on claim that the 10 years where it's his government that is in power, how is he choosing to say that there is foreign interference under his watch?
Apologies for the lost audio connection earlier. What we were discussing is that the Prime Minister, the jibe that he took, he did not name anybody. He did not name Hindenburg. He did not name any of the corporates who were earlier targeted by the opposition. But he did say that in the last 10 years, this is the first parliament session from 2014 to 2024. This is the first parliament session where just before the session, we are not seeing any foreign leaked report, any report coming in either in a foreign publication or in a platform like Hindenburg, where the Indian government is targeted and which the opposition then seizes on. So while the opposition would see this as a defense, and they're constantly saying that there is crony capitalism in this central government, that the Prime Minister, earlier Rahul Gandhi had made the allegation of Soot Boot Ki Sarkar. So the allegation that the Prime Minister only defends his corporate friends, they would interpret this, a statement of the Prime Minister to say that he's once again defending his friends. But what the Prime Minister was saying is, not one instance, but over the last 10 years, multiple times, just ahead of the parliament session, there have been attacks on the government led by the foreign press.
Right. And Pallavi, what Priyanka Gandhi has said, will this be the charge of the opposition, that this is a bid to divert attention? Is the Congress leadership decided on this particular point, or they are saying things otherwise as well?
Yes, absolutely, Griha. In fact, when the news first had come out of the closure or wrapping up of Hindenburg, there was an official Congress reaction by way of Jairam Ramesh, who issued a statement that we don't see this as a closure. Our battle and our concern to keep on raising this issue will still be carrying on. So as far as the opposition goes, and I would say more specifically the Congress, because within the India bloc, more than any other political party, it has largely been a campaign by the Congress. And I think the Prime Minister's barbs were very much indicated without taking names. Also at Rahul Gandhi, the fulcrum or central to Rahul Gandhi's campaigns, even for the Delhi elections, has essentially been pitched on his idea of crony capitalism, and much of those accusations are derived from what he claims are from the Hindenburg reports, who actually acted as whistleblowers, who revealed, who were telltale, and so on and so forth. So the Prime Minister, I think, has set the cue for his government and for the BJP, accusing of outside forces being helped and taken help of by the Congress party to peddle a wrong narrative against the government. But on the other hand, as far as opposition led by Congress party goes, they say the issue is not over. It's just a diversionary tactic by the government yet again in this session of Parliament.
Right. Pallavi and Arunma, do continue to stay on with us. Let's once again listen to what the Prime Minister said.
2014 से लेकर अब तक शायद ये पहला पार्लियामेंट का सत्र है कि जिसके एक दो दिन पहले कोई विदेशी चिंगारी नहीं प्रगटी है। विदेश में से आग लगाने की कोशिश रही हुई है। 10 साल से 14 से देख रहा हूं, हर सत्र के पहले शरारत करने के लिए लोग तैयार बैठते थे, और यहां उसको हवा देने वालों की कोई कमी नहीं है। ये पहला सत्र मैं पिछले 10 साल के बाद देख रहा हूं कि जिसमें किसी भी विदेशी कोने से कोई चिंगारी नहीं हुई।
Arunma, coming to you now, could we also see this as, as an offensive that's already been launched by the Prime Minister ahead of the beginning of this year's budget session, because the Modi government stands at a disadvantage because of the stampede situation at Mahakumbh, and opposition was sure to raise that issue in this session?
And that reference did come, when Rashtrapati ji did her joint address, the mention of what has happened at Mauni Amavasya and Kumbh did come up. And the government is also standing with the government of Uttar Pradesh and those who have lost their lives or those who are injured. Having said that, you're absolutely right. Already Samajwadi Party is taking the lead in targeting the Bharatiya Janata Party government on the Kumbh issue, questioning the VIP culture. So you are right that the opposition might gherao the government on the Kumbh stampede issue. Today and tomorrow might not be opportune enough for the opposition, since there is the tabling of the economic survey and the President's joint address has just happened, and then the discussion will be on budget. But next week onwards, you could see demands from the opposition side to discuss Kumbh